me take your time to say a special good morning to those of you listening to Classic Radio. Good morning to you once again, especially those of you viewing GBN TV, however you're viewing Channel 7, Channel 11, Channel 20. Good morning. Those of you via social media platforms, good morning. Facebook page, YouTube channels, good morning. Welcome. Those of you via GBN's webpage, also good morning to you and welcome. It's to the point. It's Wednesday, the 15th day of January 2025. Already approaching that midway mark within the month of January, yeah? And good morning once again. I have a guest in studio with me this morning. We have Mrs. Mrs. Nassil Narine with us this morning, and she's part of the Independence Celebrations Committee. And we're going to be chatting about, of course, Grenada's 51st anniversary of independence. That's going to be, of course, our main topic of conversation this morning, and of course, in between details as relates to what will be happening for the independence celebrations coming up. So let me go over and say good morning, of course, to Ms. Narine. Ms. Narine, good morning once again. Mrs. Narine, let me say good morning to you once again and welcome. We should have another guest or someone else joining us this morning, but they're not here yet. If they do popping a bit later, we certainly will entertain them. So good morning to you once again. How are you doing this morning?
Pleasant morning to you and your viewership. As you rightfully said, I'm a rep of the Independence Celebrations Committee, and I'm here to speak mainly to the Made in Grenada Expo. Okay. But I would just touch briefly on some of the activities that we have scheduled for this year's celebration. All right.
I'm assuming the anniversary celebrations for 2025 will spin off, a lot of it will spin off from 2024.
Precisely.
When, of course, when we had our 50th, and lots had happened between the 50th anniversary of independence. And so a lot of the spin off. Tell us about some of the key activities that will be happening for 2025. It's 51.
It's
Grenada.
51, yes. First to begin with, our theme this year that we have chosen is the next 50, embracing a future of development, transformation, and unity. So we're asking all and sundry to come on board and celebrate with us. It was very grand for our 50. We want to continue with that hype and on that note. So we want to make it be a celebratory mode still from that 50th.
All right. Tell us about the theme. The idea behind the theme this year. If you could expand on that a little bit for us.
Well, embracing the future. We know it's a future generation of persons, a new generation module, if I may say that way, right? And we do have a breakdown as to why we chose certain aspect of it. Okay. Right? Which I would go into a little later on for you.
All right. So let's continue on some of the key components for the activities coming up for Independence 2025.
Right. So yesterday we had judging, the preliminary judging for our Calypso. So we have chosen 20 persons, which will be published soon, if not yet. We have the Pan Jamboree. We're looking at a swimming competition, table tennis competition, the Independence Monarch Finals competition, and note we not going with the Calypso anymore. We have expanded now to embrace groovy soca Calypso. Right? So we are actually going to have Karakou on board, so we do have them doing likewise what happens on Main Island is going to happen on the Sister Isle. Right? We have our church service, we have our Independence Rally, and the Made in Grenada Expo. And we also have award ceremony and cultural presentation there. We also have our school treats. We have our Colors Day. We have our interministerial competition. We have our Independence Cultural Extravaganza. And we also have our military rally and parade. Well, you know that is part of the celebration.
I mean, that is of course something that we will have.
And that's the grand thing.
That's the grand thing, something we will have.
Yes.
All right. All right, so that's basically most of the activities that will be taking place?
Yes.
All right. Now, let's talk about the Calypso competition this year. You said yesterday they had the judging of folks who will be making it. Is it who will make it? This was a preliminary round, right? That's
yes.
judging for the preliminary round. All right. And you give us a date when the finals will take place for it? Was it a date? Did you mention
we had no.
Not no date as scheduled yet?
No, because we had a little pushback with our dates, so that will be given shortly.
No, there's a bit of a tweak in for this year's competition, in terms of not only the Calypso aspect will be featured, but also we see you having the groovy into it also, and other performances in between. Reasons for that this year?
We wanted to embrace all and sundry who basically produce music in Grenada. So we decided to incorporate the Calypso with the soca and the groovy, because this is the three main areas that we partake into.
Okay. All right. Well, let's see how and how has the participation been thus far in terms of folks who of course, submitted their songs and so forth for the competition. How has the participation been?
The participation was great. We had 31 participants.
Okay.
And out of the 31, we are choosing 20.
20. All right. And you said you had that done yesterday, so
yes.
Hopefully that 20 making it to the finals.
Precisely.
All right. So it's 51 years as an independent nation. Now, you also spoke in relation to the activities coming up, the National Colors Day and all of that. How is it going to be tweaking this year? Is there going to be anything different than we did last year or so?
No, we just continue on that note.
All right. What are some of the key highlights for this year's anniversary? What would be some of the key highlights for this year's anniversary?
Well, we're looking for beautification. We want to see the whole Tri-Island beautified. So one of the drive is to get all and sundry, all business entrepreneurs to decorate their buildings, partake in the event, wherever you can. Dress your vehicles. This is a grand thing we want for the Colors Day. We want to ask all and sundry to partake with that. The actual parade, military parade, we're looking at persons from the diaspora coming in and incorporating with us to make it a grand event, just as the 50th.
Okay.
We don't want to scale down. We want to keep that hype going, because we actually have that flag flown high, and we have lots to offer, lots of surprises. So the only how you can be part of the surprise is if you make yourself present at that military parade and the celebration.
All right. We drew for a break. Let's take that break, and when we come back, we continue the conversation. Stay with us, folks. It's To The Point Classic Radio, GBN TV, and we're talking about Grenada's 51st anniversary of independence. We're coming right back after the break. Stay with us, folks.
Invites you to celebrate.
It's clearly documented that we have been having, as a planet, an increase in incidence of cancers. But remember, cancer is a genetic disease.
When you now look at somebody's DNA or their genetics, it can tell you everything about a person. So what we use next generation sequencing to do in particular is to look at hereditary cases of diseases.
Be viewing Caribbean Medical TV on this station.
back, listeners. Welcome back, viewers, once again. It's on One Classic Radio, GBN TV. We have, of course, Mrs. Narine with us this morning, and we're talking about Grenada's 51st anniversary of independence. Mrs. Narine, welcome back once again. Let's talk about what's going to be taking place around the island. That's as crucial. I know there's lots of other activities that will be taken in the outer parishes. What are some of those elements that will be taking place in the outer parish that relates to independence this year?
Okay, so we have the beautification, and we also have the Round the Island relay, right? That is the grand thing that we started last year, wish to continue this year. So that is where you would see a number of activities taking place. You would see the running, the cycling, and the swimming. And we try to use the children from the various
How can
schools.
folks get to participate in this? Is it be part of the various clubs around the island?
Yes.
Being part
Clubs
of
and schools? Yes.
All right. And I'm assuming there's a sign-up process that they have to go through to sign up?
You can contact the Ministry of Sports. They are spearheading the event.
All right. What are the major activities that is coming up around the island that we probably have missed in terms of what you mentioned?
We're looking at a motorcade.
There's also going to be a motorcade this year.
There's going to be a motorcade. But that is the beautification, the motorcade, and around the island, as I said, sporting activities.
All right. Now, you also mentioned the Sister Isles of Carriacou and Petit Martinique in terms of a collab in terms of events that's taking place on the mainland and also Carriacou. Give us some highlights in relation to that.
Okay, so the same activities, we don't want to make Carriacou feel like if they're not part and parcel of what's happening. So the same activities we would conduct, they would do likewise. So it's just a duplication, but it's just on a smaller scale with Carriacou, given that they would have suffered hit by beryl.
All right.
Right, but they have all the activities that we have.
Well, would be done in concurrent on the same day, or is it on a separate day those things will be taking place in the Sister Isles of Carriacou and Petit Martinique?
We use the same day.
The same day. So whatever is taking place on the mainland, of course, well, I'm assuming on Independence Day, it may be a bit of an odd in terms of on Independence Day, in terms of the parade and stuff like that. I mean, I remember last year there was a separate day when the parade and stuff was in Carriacou in relation to this year. I'm not sure if how that will be dealt with.
Well, it's one celebration. The actual celebration is the 7th. So we go with all the activities on the same day, same way. So Carriacou will be doing their share, and we will be doing our share.
Okay, great. So certainly hopeful for that. Now, as for 2025, our 51st anniversary of independence. In terms of the preparation for all the activities that will be taking place, how is that ongoing for now?
Well, we are on board with that. As you see, we started the beautification process right after the Christmas celebration. We went straight into starting to beautify the varying key areas that you would normally see the buntings and stuff going up. We started that process. And for all the different activities, we do have subcommittees spearheading those. So we actually on track. I don't think we have any setback as it stands. Only setback we had, as I said, with the Calypso and the Independence Monarch.
Okay.
And we actually going to be doing the semi-finals would be taking place on the 25th of January, and that would be at Lassages playing field.
All right. So it's going from the preliminary stage to the semi-final.
To the semi-final.
And you have 20 individuals, as you mentioned, now going to the semi-final round.
Yes.
And then it goes down to 10 or lower number. It's about 10?
Yeah.
10 goes to the final. You mentioned there's not a date for the finals as yet. But hopefully before. Before Independence Day. All right. You were sharing some of that info?
We do have the Made in Grenada, which is incorporated with the military parade.
Yes.
And that is a platinum event for the Division of Trade.
All right. Tell us about it. Tell us about what it entails this year.
Right. So, excuse me. That event, we normally attract all our participants for the manufacturing sector.
Okay.
Right? So we ask persons who are producing anything that is produced locally manufactured locally, to contact the Division of Trade so that you can be part and parcel of our family, to be part and parcel at the expo.
All right.
Right? You must register. We have a register which we're doing online at present. So you can contact our office so you can become part of our database where we can disseminate that information to you. We're not doing any printing of registration forms as we were doing in the past.
So most things will be done online this year.
It's online, given that the Prime Minister do not want printing more than 5 pages. If we're talking about 100 participants, we're talking about 100 odd pages. So we scale down.
Trying to go paperless as much as possible.
Paperless as possible. So we have that registration process going on. We presently have over 40 persons register. We are going to cut off at 60, given that we are now using a scale capacity down from the cricket stadium. We are now to the athletic stadium, which does not have that capacity to take that influx of persons that we normally would have.
Okay. Made in Grenada Expo, it's been happening for a number of years now.
Yes.
It's been happening for a number of years, where, as you mentioned, local manufacturers and folks who produce stuff locally have that opportunity to bring their products to the expo and get the opportunity to get folks to know what has been made locally.
Yes.
The initiative has been overwhelming for years. You go to the stadium and sometimes you wonder to yourself, is these things actually even made in Grenada? You understand? Sometimes you get the impression, well, I thought this was imported. You understand? In terms of the quality of the products that you see individual made. How does that, especially the folks who participate and so forth, and from the celebrations committee point of view, how does that make you folks feel?
Well, it makes us feel great when we see the quality that Grenada produces, and we actually are trying to assist them to take them to the next level, which is export market.
Okay.
Right? So we actually partakes in some of our international and regional expos also. So that gives the local manufacturers that are export ready an opportunity to penetrate new markets by participating at these expos. So we have the Japan Expo, which is carded to take place next year, April. No, sorry. We in 2025.
We in 2025.
So it's going to be
in April of this year. All right.
Right? So we have a number of manufacturers who are export ready.
Yes.
We have taken their products to get into that market, to display, give them an opportunity to meet new business people, get their feedbacks on those products. And if they're lucky, they get to penetrate as to having quota. You make a request for a number of products from Grenada, that can be done.
How has folks who has participated in the past, who have participated in the past in the expo, how has the expo benefited them a whole lot? Right.
So they have benefited from getting new markets. So that's one of the good thing Expo does. The exposure give them to network. So they get to meet new people that producing the same products and able to dialogue and actually you get to compete because you get to know whether I need to do this to mine
if you need to tweak this a little bit more, of course, for that particular market.
That everybody just sell tambourine ball and it's done the same way, packaged the same way. It's like, why should I buy this tambourine ball as opposed to this tambourine ball? So you want to
presentation is a key part, is a key also.
So that gives the manufacturers an opportunity to up their game.
Yes.
Right? It also gives them that opportunity where they make contacts. Right? It may not necessarily be for a big quota, but you make contacts with persons who may want to use your product, at domestic level or your regional level. Right? They have persons who would have indicated to us that they would have found export market where they got a request to fulfill and they were able to fulfill, and that is a plus for our domestic manufacturers. And we want to keep them flying that flag of Grenada because that little dot can do so much, and when you see the quality you have to wonder, was this made in China or this is done in Grenada? Yes, it's done in Grenada. All all by our local persons.
And I guess some of these success stories have been overwhelming also. And,
Very much
I'm sure you might have testimonies from individuals who may have been to those expos in other countries and felt the response that they have received.
Yes.
And it was overwhelming.
Very overwhelming.
All right, great. Hey, folks, it's to the point. Let's take that break. When we come back, we still have much more. And so, our listeners and viewers, if you do have a question or two as relates to, of course, the conversation we're having this morning, feel free. You could also join in 435-2041. Let's take a short break, folks. We're coming right back. Don't you dare touch your dial. We're coming right back. Stay with us.
Get so much.
Looking to take your business to new heights? Advertise with GBN on our social media platforms and get noticed by our 138,000 plus followers. Reach a massive engaged audience ready to connect with your brand. No matter your business size, GBN is here to help you grow. Contact us today at admin@gbn.gd or WhatsApp 407-8458 to get started.
Coming up, these chefs and mixologists produce their creative best for their biggest party yet. This steel band has been making a difference for over 40 years. An island filled with beauty, a vibrant culture, and an iconic natural attraction. Now, where can this be? It's all next on this station.
GBN Television News at 7, a pulse on all things Grenadian. Look out for our new features through expanded synergies with our media partners in Barbados, St. Lucia, Jamaica, Trinidad, and beyond. Capturing the latest in news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Credible, informative. Thank you for making us number one. News at 7, live, Monday to Friday on GBN Television, Channel 7 and 11. K105.5 and 105.9, Hot 98.5 and 98.7, GBN Television Facebook page and YouTube channel, and www.gbn.gd. GBN, with you anywhere and everywhere.
Welcome back, listeners, or welcome back, viewers. It's to the point here on Classic Radio GBN TV. Of course, we have Mrs. Narine with us here this morning from the National Celebrations Committee, folks, or the Independence Celebrations Committee, and we're talking about some of the activities that will be taking place around the island as relates to Grenada's independence for 2025. Is Grenada's 51st anniversary of independence. Some of the activities, we spoke a whole lot about that. We talk about the Made in Grenada Expo and so forth that is coming up, and And we have lots more to talk about as we move along this morning. We're also going to give you, our listeners and viewers, the opportunity to maybe ask questions as it relates to what's taking place for the Independence anniversary, the celebrations coming up. Also, you may have a question or two as relates to that. So, of course, you feel free to do so. And I already see someone is asking a question here via the WhatsApp. They're saying, when will the picture and logos be out for the 51st anniversary? Someone is asking this particular question this morning. Welcome back.
The pictures of the logo.
They one is asking when the pictures and logos will be out for the 51st anniversary.
What is the purpose for the logo?
I'm not sure if there was some
because the usage of the logo, the logo, you have to seek permission from the committee, right? So we would not just publish the logo like that. Okay. But we did unveil on the launch, which was on the 17th of December.
Okay. Probably the individual missed missed that. No, you were talking about some of the celebrations in St. David's. There was something was happening there a while ago. What as it relates to that? Something in the outer parish. I think I missed your relation to that.
So that would be the semi-finals for the Independence Monarch competition.
But there was something else you was actually focusing on. I think I probably missed the details in relation to it. Folks, we here this morning once again 4352041. If you do have a question or two as relates to the activity,
multi-million-dollar mansions and tiny.
Of course, give us that call, and we will certainly like to hear from you in terms of maybe your views and concerns as relations to the activities that are coming up for Grenada's and the 51st anniversary of independence. Anything else we may have missed that you want to highlight this morning?
Yes. We'll be using the Kirani James Athletic Stadium this year for the event for the celebration.
Okay.
We start at 3. So the celebration is going to be an afternoon event this year.
Okay.
And the expo would start at 1.
Okay.
Right? We ask the participants, which is our independent participant vendors, to set up at 11.
All right.
Right? So that we don't have no obstruction with the police and the traffic for their actual march past to get to the parade in the stadium.
All right.
So we actually
be there a bit early enough so that you don't cause conflicts with the parade and so.
Right, precisely. They would start from the Ariza car park onto the stadium.
Okay. We do have a caller. Let's see what the caller wants to contribute towards today's program. We lost that caller there. 435-2041. 435-2041. And so you spoke about the parade. What is what some of the key highlights that will be taking place during, of course, the celebrations on the day, Independence Day?
Well, we do.
I mean, there's usually there's different the Prime Minister's address and so forth.
So we do have those. We have an award ceremony. We have cultural presentation. And we have the Made in Grenada, which would be going along. Although it starts at 1, it still would be going into the celebration mode, where the actual celebration would continue. We wouldn't stop the event and start one event. We just continue on that note.
Okay, great. Let's take this caller. Caller, you're live. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Yes, I have a question for Ms. Narine. Concerning the packaging for the products, where we need some more training on that, because if we need to get out in the outer world, we need to have good training, and we have to have the proper labeling and our stuff. And
Caller, I think you've been distracted a wee bit because you have the television or your radio a little bit loud in the background, so it's kind of throwing you off. Maybe you should have it turned off or have someone lower the level for you a bit. Caller, you with us?
Yes. I'm trying to put it down a bit.
All right, as I always initiate before you call, do that, please. Turn your whatever device you have in the background, turn it off. You ready to continue, you caller?
Yes, but let me...
Hey folks, it's To The Point here, Classic Radio GBN TV, 435-2041, 435-2041. That's the number if you do have a question. I guess you understand what the caller was speaking about in terms of maybe can we offer some level of training, especially for the folks in the will be part of the expo in terms of their products and stuff. Would that be offered? Anything be offered?
We usually offer labeling and packaging training. Well, not training, but labeling and packaging enhancement for your products. But we do that on a basis of sector needs.
Okay.
We just don't do it.
Do they have to request that they want it, or is something that
we do an assessment from the expo, and we look at the areas where we see weak points, and we try to strengthen it going forward. So it might be products, feedback on the taste. We can help persons get a proper formulation. We do have the packaging, as opposed to where persons, when we look at your display, you may have a very good product, and you may hear persons saying that person need to polish up on that packaging, but the product is good, but the packaging not
always been presented. It needs to be touched up.
So we actually do work with them on enhancing product and packaging, but we do have that done annually, right? So we will have some of that done thereafter the expo. We would have analysis done, a SWOT analysis, and then from there we'll be able to see where we need to assist those manufacturers, whether it's technical or it's actually, with some form of other support.
Okay, great. Let's take another caller. Caller, you're live. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, you're live.
Yes, I was the same person on before, and at least... Yes, I was the same person on before.
Yeah, would you go ahead, please, caller?
Yes, Ms. Narine did answer some of the questions.
Could you go ahead if you have another question? Just go right ahead, please, and state them.
Yes, I said, Ms. Narine.
Caller, you still have a device playing in the background that is distracting you. I beg of you to turn it off completely,
please. I turned it down, but then you were not hearing me properly. But I heard what Ms. Narine said. Ms. Narine said...
We may have to move on just a wee bit, because I think the caller still has a problem in terms of having a device. Because I can hear it playing. I can hear it playing in the background.
And if I may say it, the Grenada Bureau of Standards is the one who set our labeling and packaging requirements, right, for the domestic market. If you are exporting to another country of origin, you are expected to meet that country of origin requirements and labeling and packaging and all other aspects of it, right? But as it stands for the domestic market, we do have our labeling and packaging standards that we must meet, right? And that is briefed and it's done by the Grenada Bureau of Standards, as I rightfully said.
Okay, great. Someone is asking the question, in 2024, we did have the lights on the carnage. They asked if the lights are going to be back this year. Are the lights going to be back this year?
No.
The lights won't be back this year. Let's take a break. We'll be right back. Stay with us, folks. 435-2041. When we come back, that will be the number if you do have a question or two to ask. When we come back, stay with us. It's To The Point, Classic Radio, GBN TV. We'll be right back.
Get so much more.
Records at the traffic department shows that a total of 1,447 accidents were reported for the year 2012, which includes 3 road fatalities. 2,946 accidents were reported for the year 2022, which includes 8 road fatalities. This is a significant increase of 104%. This is alarming. When a family tragically loses a loved one, does it matter whether by means of a gun or a motor vehicle? To avoid accidents, drivers and pedestrians alike must exercise extreme caution when using the road.
GBN Television News at 7, a pulse on all things Grenadian. Look out for our new features through expanded synergies with our media partners in Barbados, St. Lucia, Jamaica, Trinidad, and beyond. Capturing the latest in news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Credible, informative. Thank you for making us number one. News at 7, live, Monday to Friday on GBN Television, Channel 7 and 11. K105.5 and 105.9, Hot 98.5 and 98.7, GBN Television Facebook page and YouTube channel, and www.gbn.gd. GBN, with you anywhere and everywhere.
Looking to take your business to new heights? Advertise with GBN on our social media platforms and get noticed by our 138,000 plus followers. Reach a massive engaged audience ready to connect with your brand. No matter your business size, GBN is here to help you grow. Contact us today at admin@gbn.gd or WhatsApp 407-8458 to get started.
Welcome back once again to our listeners. Welcome back to our viewers. It's To The Point, Classic Radio GBN TV. We have, of course, Mrs. Narine with us this morning, and we're talking about some of the activities that will be taking place, of course, being part of the Grenada's 51st anniversary of independence. We spoke briefly earlier on, Mrs. Narine, pertaining to the independence, Mona competition. And there's a bit of a twist in the name this year. We're not actually calling Independence Calypso Mona, but Independence Mona competition this year. And of course, some of the information that I will read out here, it says in the 2025 competition, it will be called the Independence Mona competition, where any journey of course, from the root of Calypso and the competition based on the BPM per minute, which describes the speed of the song. An artist can sing in Calypso, groovy, or in soca in this particular competition. And they're saying also that the judging criteria will remain the same. And for those of you who have already submitted your songs and so forth, I guess you were briefed on that, and there was suddenly a deadline, which was on the 12th. And then, so now, as you mentioned, also the preliminary round for that has already taken place. So now we're getting to the semi-final and the finals to come, and those dates certainly will be announced in short time. So once again, so that's just a bit of information for those of you who, especially your listeners and viewers out there, who are probably thinking about the competition this year. That's what it's going to be like. It's the Independence Mona competition, and not as it used to be called before, the Independence Calypso. It's not certainly going to be based on Calypsos only this year. As we said, it's open to other genres of music like groovy and soca. So you can hear a soca Calypso song, right?
Yeah.
A soca independent song, I should say. A soca song as relates to independence, or a groovy song as it relates to independence. Once again, listeners and viewers, the lines are open 435-2041 if you do have a question or two. Of course, we were expecting some other, of course, individuals joining us this morning, but for various reasons, they are not here, of course. So, of course, the burden is left on Ms. Narine this morning to, of course, speak about most things that she was not here for in particular. But it's all good. It's all good this morning. 435-2041. If you do have a question or two that you may like to ask, you can also use the WhatsApp. You can send, of course, a message, or you can call in via the WhatsApp 435-2041, or you can call the direct line. If there's anything relating to, of course, independence celebrations this year that you may would like to, of course, get a little bit of a clarification on, feel free to do so in the segment. And once Miss Narine is able to answer you, she will certainly do that for you. I want to talk to you a wee bit in relation to let's take this caller first before we actually get that particular question I wanted to ask. Caller, you're live via WhatsApp. Good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you, sir.
Your guest. As I understand it, there is a committee responsible for the celebration. That committee is headed by, I think, Ms. Jacqueline Alexis. There is a committee appointed by the Governor General of Grenada, which deals with the whole question of awardees for independence. The person in charge of that committee is Mr. Dominic Jeremiah. I don't know if we are missing something, if our heads are screwed on right, but there are a list of number of awardee areas: fisheries, community development, medicine, youth development, sports and education, social work and journalism, culture, business and entrepreneurship, policing, innovators, foreign services, tourism and hospitality, creative arts, academia, science and technology, marine environment, financial services. Well, it seems as though people in Grenada is not eating. So the people who produce food, there is not even one awardee. Correct it. Make sure that is done. Otherwise, we would starve to death. There are people who provide food. They are called farmers. They are called agriculturalists. Oh, you could have an independence award and you're leaving people out who are supposed to be feeding your nation. Wake up, Grenada. Get rid of the incompetence. Thank you. Have a blessed day.
Thank you, caller. Thank you for your contribution this morning. Any response to the caller?
No, I wish to be free. But I mean, we welcome the information, and we would certainly look into it. May not be for this one, but for future. We make the necessary adjustments.
All right.
And if I may allude to the Monarch competition, when we say the judging criteria would remain the same, it will remain the same where we judge on lyrics, we judge on melody, rendition, originality, and presentation.
All right. As with previous competitions.
As with previous
competitions. All right. 435 folks, 2041. That's a number. If you, of course, would like to ask a question or two, feel free to do so. Someone is asking a question also. They would like to know what plans or celebration is placed in the parish of St. Patrick. Would there be any Calypso semi-finals and so forth as this year? Well, I guess we spoke in relation to that already in terms of the way the competition will take place.
Yeah,
it's a bit of a different competition this year.
Yeah, but that's where the finals is started to take place
at the bus terminal in St. Patrick. The finals will take place there. All right. Yes. And the semi-finals in St. David's. In St. David's. Yes. Okay, so that's it for that. Once again, folks, 435-2041. We have a few more minutes left on today's program. If you do have a question that you would like to ask, feel free. And maybe you just have a concern as it relates to the independence celebrations this year. Feel free to do so also here on the program this morning. Anything else you want to highlight, Ms. Narine?
I think we try to give a little nudge to all the parishes.
Yes.
I mean, but because the cultural extravaganza would be held in St. Andrews.
Yeah.
Right? And the Independence Monarch finals would be at St. Patrick's, the Setters Bus Terminus. The semi-finals is in St. David's, Lassages playing field. So I think we try to make a little dent, to all the parishes. I know we're not hearing much about the St. John and the St. Mark. They're not left out. What we do, we incorporate them into some of the activities.
Okay.
To join in the bigger parishes.
Okay, great.
Because they're not scaled to hold the capacity, but we would look forward futuristic as to what small event we can bring to them so that they get their nudge just this.
All right, we do have a caller. Caller, you're live. Good morning.
Good morning, Jay, and good morning to Mr. Narine. Last Independence, a guy invited me in his shop to a cook-up, and somewhere in Pearls, and when I get down there, he told me that he cannot play his music because they had a band that amplified music. So my question, the cook-up was so dead and everybody was so angry. I'm asking Mr. Narine, do the same policy this year again with no amplified music playing again? I really would like to know.
Thank you, caller. Thank you.
Okay, I cannot expound it, but what I do know, you contact the Royal Grenada Police Force to seek the necessary permission, and they would guide you accordingly so that you know whether amplified music can be used or not used this year.
Okay, great. 435-2041, 435-2041. We're moving up to 10 minutes before the top 10 this morning here on To The Point, and you have the option of calling in once again and ask a question or two as relates. Let's go back to the phone line. Caller, your life. Good morning.
Yes, good morning, GT.
Good morning to you, sir.
Good morning to your guest.
Good morning.
Now, concerning the awardees, these awards will be given locally or whatever? Is it to be coming from overseas? For example, there might be medals that may be given by King Charles III. So how would it be done? Are the people informed, and are the medals there, or would they have to come in, or how is it done really?
All right. Thank you, caller. Thank you, caller. Respond to the call. So you're not,
All the awardees would be awarded at this celebration.
Yeah.
Right? And so they will be present together with whatever token is being presented to them.
Okay. All right. We have another question here from someone via the WhatsApp, and they're asking, or maybe just making a general statement with this one, I should say. One of the main attractions in St. Patrick's we saw for Christmas, it was the light up of the light up and the many activities that help bring visitors all over the location to view vivid parts. The question is, is there any plans by the Independence Celebration to have these sites used as a tourist attraction for Independence activities? If there are any plans for that in St. Patrick? They were saying that there certain areas will light up for the Christmas. Would you be doing that this year in St. Patrick's, more or less? I guess the individual is more talking about activities in St. Patrick.
Well, what I may state is that I know we indicated to the general public that whatever beautification that you choose within your parish to enhance the celebration, we welcome it. So if a private owner, because I think that is privately done, so the private owners and the business owners that want to beautify the areas and create any buzz, we welcome it. That is part of your parish beautification.
Okay.
Right?
All right. We do have a caller via WhatsApp. WhatsApp caller, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, I want to know that if you have a product that you want to bring like for exhibition and you can't go online, is there a place you could just walk in to register?
I think we did speak about that this morning. I guess you could respond to it again.
We did speak to that. Yes, you can walk in to the Division of Trade, which is located at the ground floor at the financial complex, and you can speak to any of the trade officers there. We are open and willing to assist you to do a manual registration, and that is only given that you are new. For the old folks, no. You have to have a functional email that we would send that information to you, and you register and return it back.
Okay.
Submit it back online.
Yeah, you did, because you did mention, of course, in earlier conversation that we go in paperless this year. So only individuals who are probably participating for the first time, you can come in to do that.
Yes.
Or maybe if even someone is participating for the first time and they do have an email address and they could probably just call and get the necessary information on how they can do that, and it would be emailed to them and they could have it returned via email. I'm assuming it could be done that way.
Yes, you can do that way also.
All right.
So you can also send your email to me at nassil.regis@trade.gov.gd.
All right. You want to repeat that? It's a bit lengthy, yeah?
Yes. Nassil, NASSIL .regis, REGIS @ at symbol trade, trade.gov.gd.
Okay. And of course, they will get the necessary information.
Yes, I would be happy to respond to them in a timely manner, which is always done.
All right. Once again, folks, the lines are open 435-2041, or if you do want to send a message via the WhatsApp, you can feel free to do so. Or if you want to call via the WhatsApp, you can do that also, 435-2041. Just approximately 5 minutes left, I should say, on the program this morning, and the lines are open for you. Now, in general, 2025 Independence Celebration, Grenada's 51st anniversary of independence, and you said a majority of the activities already been, preparation are on point in terms of it, and that is just waiting for that go when the time comes around.
Yes.
All right. And I think we may have exhausted the calls already. Anything in closing before we take a wrap this morning?
Well, as the theme says, the next 50, embracing a future development, transformation, and unity. It is a united front. Grenada is a united front, so we ask all and sundry, everybody, to come on board, do your nice dress to your buildings, to yourself when we have the dress done, which is the 6th of February. Buses, buildings, persons, make yourself into that color mode. The eyes, the green, the gold. Yes. We welcome that.
I like to use the word your Grenadianism.
Bring it out. We welcome that. So, it shows our patriotism. I mean, it's not just about the colors, but how we live, but that's part of the unity we want to see buzz out of us this year,
All right.
As I said, we want to keep that flag flown, and we see the transformation from that where, we get all and sundry on board, persons that would say, me, I ain't taking part in that. It gives you that opportunity to just be part of that family, that Grenadian family, because we are a loving nation of people.
So true.
So we just want to continue on that note. The development where we develop our young people's mind. That's why we have transformed into that Calypso Monarch, Independence Monarch competition,
where just
rather
one
than
category,
say
just one category.
Calypso, right?
All right.
So all these is why we had chosen those team selective words, just to get everybody incorporated, to this change, to embrace that change, and welcome new ideas. So the new ideas is your young people with the developing minds, and incorporate it with the older folks' minds.
Okay, great. We do have a caller, maybe our final caller for the morning, and then we close out for today's program. Caller, your life. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
I'm just trying to find out if you would be giving anybody any award on naming buildings like Kirani James, stadium and what. Is that would you be doing these things for this independence?
So he's asking if anyone will be. Well, we did mention there will be an award ceremony, and I guess he's asking in particular, like the buildings and so forth. I'm not sure if that will be incorporated this year. No, we don't have that this year. Okay, caller, thank you. Mrs. Narine, once again, Mrs. Narine, I want to thank you for being on the program this morning, sharing information. I know the burden was left on you this morning. Of course, you came for one particular part of it, but you had to handle everything. I want to thank you a whole lot, and certainly hope we could have another session where we have more folks involved and get much more information thrown out in relation to Independence 2025, Grenada's 51st anniversary. I want to thank you once again.
Thank you very much.
All right. Hey, folks, we're going to take a wrap for this edition of To The Point for today. Thanks all who contributed some way or the other. Have yourself a good day, folks. That's where we say goodbye. Join me again tomorrow for another edition. Goodbye.